What's going on YouTube? My name is Tristan, or Taze. Welcome back to the channel. Today guys, coming at you with my top 5 best Modern Warfare 3 class setups going into Season 1. These classes are perfect for anybody trying to either rank up fast, trying to get high scoring gameplays, or overall just trying to have a lot of fun with the game. And they also work at short range, medium range, and long ranges. So before we get into it, if you guys could please subscribe to the channel if you guys do find this video awesome, that'd be really appreciated. And make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy. With that being said, let's get to it. So for my first class setup, we're going to be talking about the SVA 545. Now this is one of the assault rifles inside the game. And I have to say that I personally really like this particular class setup that I put together. So for the muzzle, we're using the Gauge 9 Mono. This is going to give you an increased amount in bullet velocity, firing aim stability, and recoil control, with the extra bonus being that it is undetectable by radar. So if you're playing in core, it's going to make sure that you are not on the minimap whatsoever, which is very crucial so that enemies don't see where you are. For the barrel, we're using the STV Precision Barrel. Now this is going to give you get gun control as well as recoil control, bullet velocity and range, and as well an increase in aiming idle sway. Really important, this is going to improve overall your recoil control, accuracy, and the range. For the stock, we're using the main V6 stock. I really like this because, again, it's going to give you an increase in gun kick control and recoil control. You are going to lose a little bit of sprint to fire speed, sprint speed, and movement speed, but honestly, I don't notice it that much when playing. And if you're really someone that prioritizes movement over, recoil or gun kick, you can easily tack on something like the no stock and just kind of run it like that. And I still think that it's perfectly fine nonetheless. For the rear grip, we're using the Demo 650. This is again going to give you an increase in gun kick and recoil control, as well as an increase in firing aim stability. So it is going to improve your handling, mobility, and your aim, which is really important, again, if you're trying to get kills at a medium range and long range. And then lastly, guys, for the optic, running the MK3 reflector, probably the best optic to use in the game by far. I'm using this on almost every single one of my classes that I'm going to be showing you guys in this particular video. For the next class, we're going to be looking at the MCW. So this is another assault rifle class. But I'm going to tell you that this gun, the way I have it designed, could also really play well as a sort of submachine AR hybrid in many ways. I personally think that the way that this gun is, it's probably the best gun in Modern Warfare 3. First off, for the muzzle, we're using the Harbinger D20 from Modern Warfare 2. This, again, is going to be undetectable by radar. You're also going to get bullet velocity, firing aim stability, and recoil control, while losing on aim down sight speed, aiming idle sway, aim walking speed, and damage range. I personally think, though, that the damage is good enough. For the barrel, we're using the 16.5 Cyclone long barrel. This is going to give you an increase in bullet velocity and range, as well as an increase in aiming idle sway and firing aim stability. So it is going to be perfect for long range hit and run gunfights. And it's really special in objective-based game modes like Domination, Hardpoint, and Control. Now for the stock, we're using the Iron Park Tactical stock. When it comes down to it, you're getting an increase in your tac stance spread, as well as hip fire spread, and also an increase in aim down sight and sprint to fire speed. You're going to lose out a little bit on recoil control and gun kick control, along with firing aim stability and aiming idle sway. But for me personally, I don't really notice any of those being such a big problem. For the rear grip, we're using the RB Claw PSL grip. This is going to give you firing aim stability as well as gun kick and recoil control, losing a little bit of aiming idle sway, but this is going to counteract the cons that we had with using the particular stock. So this is something that is going to help balance it out, make it a little bit nicer, and again, reduce your recoil while getting more shots on target. Now, the third class that I want to highlight for this video is going to be the Striker. Not the Striker 45, but the Striker submachine gun itself. I find that this is actually one of the most nasty classes that you can use in both core and hardcore, and it really works well for any sort of play style. For the barrel, we're using the Striker Recon long barrel. This is going to give you an increase in bullet velocity and range, as well as in your aiming idle sway. So you're going to get an increase to range, increase to damage, and recoil control by just having this barrel on. You are going to lose a little bit of sprint to fire speed and aim walking speed, but again, I really don't notice that much when I'm playing with this gun. I find that it's very snappy. For the underbarrel, we're using the FSS Shark Fin 90. This is going to give you only aiming idle sway. I like this one because compared to other underbarrels that you could be using, there are no cons to this. For the rear grip, we're using the second ZX grip. This is going to give you gun kick control, firing aim stability, and recoil control, while losing a little bit of aiming idle sway, which is why we chose that particular underbarrel. So this counteracts it, gives you better recoil control and stability for when you're in both short range, medium range, and long range gunfight. For the stock, we're using the FSS Priority Tactical Stock. This is going to give you an increase in recoil control, movement speed, and sprint speed, while losing aiming idle sway, aim down sight speed, and gun kick control. Now, my fourth class set that we're going to be taking a look at is using the Rival 9 SMG. For me personally, I love this gun. It gets very slept on in the conversation of best guns in Modern Warfare 3. For the muzzle, we're using the X10 Black Kite. This is going to be undetectable by radar and giving you an increase in firing aim stability, recoil control, and bullet velocity, while losing aim down sight speed, aiming idle sway, and aim walking speed. For the barrel, we're using the Rival 38E fire starter. Now, I personally really like this one because you're getting an increase in aim down sight speed, movement speed, sprint to fire, and sprint speed. This is perfect. It counteracts some of the cons that we had with the muzzle. For the underbarrel, we're using the FSS Shark Fin 90. This has got to be my favorite one to use by far. Otherwise, I would really recommend probably using the XRK Edge BW hand stop because it is going to be more speed focused rather than, hip fire and stance spread. For the stock, we're using the Bruin Flash V4 stock. I personally like this one because it's going to give you aim down sight speed, movement speed, and sprint speed, which is something that obviously we've seen as a negative in multiple attachments for this particular class. So having that is going to help you out a lot. And lastly, guys, as always, like I mentioned, using the MK3 reflector as my optic. And then the last class that we're taking a look at for this particular video is going to be the Bass B, which is a battle rifle. This is probably one of the nastiest guns across the board. I really haven't noticed any nerfs with this gun as well, which makes it super dominant. For the muzzle, we're using the Zulu 60, undetectable by radar, and it's going to give you an increase in bullet velocity, firing aim stability, and recoil control. So that is going to help you out with getting your shots off in a moderately accurate way. And again, also because it's sound dampening, enemies are not going to see you when they have UAVs up. For the barrel, we're using the Wyvern's Respite long barrel. This is going to give you an increase in aim walking steadiness, bullet velocity and range, aim walking speed, and movement speed. So this is really important across the board for your mobility and for your handling. And at the same time, it's also going to be really great for having a increase in damage in range. For the rear grip, we're using the Bruin Agro 76. This is going to give you flinch resistance, aim walking speed, and aiming idle sway. The flinch resistance, I think, comes in perfect for especially when you're in objective-based game modes or you're in very high-pressure situations. Additionally, guys, we've upgraded from a 20-round mag to a 30-round mag. I understand that I'm going to be losing a lot of speed because of this, but for me personally, I think that this is important because it means less having to reload. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that I am running the same lethal, tactical, field upgrade, and gear for all of my classes. So I'm using stun grenade and a semtex for my field upgrade. I'm using a munitions box for my gloves. I'm using the commando gloves because you can reload while sprinting. I'm using the stalker boots, which are going to increase my strafe and ADS movement speed, which is really important. And then lastly, I'm using the mission control comm link, so I can reduce my kill cost by 1 kill, which is really important. So those are the classes that I have for this particular video. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure again to leave a like down below. As well, guys, talk about some weapons that you think I should play with here on the channel. And with that being said, guys, my name is Tristan Ortiz, and I'll see all of you guys in the next one.